We have an update now on a story we've been following for months that has hit a difficult impasse for a local family.
Yeah, Brett Walls has locked-in syndrome, fully aware of what's happening around him, but locked in his own body, paralyzed essentially. The therapy he needs to continue improving is within reach, but his health insurance is refusing to cover it. Local 12's Paula Toti is live at Drake Hospital with a story you'll see only on Local 12. Paula?
Tammy, the family of Brett Walls got this letter from United Healthcare on Friday saying he was being discharged from Drake. In fact, coverage was going to run out on Saturday. Basically says that the level of care offered here, acute care, is no longer needed. The problem is the what's next is very uncertain.
Today, Brett Walls was able to move his right fingers for me and show arm resistance. Keep in mind, his family was told when he entered Drake Hospital in the spring after a series of strokes not to expect nearly that. When we saw him a few weeks ago starting to breathe on his own, it was a good thing medically. But United Healthcare says it now means he needs to be discharged. If the family wants to get him more care, they have to pay out of pocket.
Although he's made progress and he's beaten the odds and he's proven everybody wrong, and we want him to come home as soon as possible, he's a long way from that point.
Brett is fully aware of everything around him and communicates with eye blinks and a chart. He still has limited mobility and needs a feeding tube for most of his nutrition. His wife Gail thought she had the solution for the next step, taking him to a skilled nursing facility. Their policy calls for 60 days of coverage, but after several appeals, she was denied this step.
They deemed him custodial care, maintenance only. He's ready to go home.
The insurance company has denied the skilled care, saying he would not benefit. Gail says a local hospital and one specializing in locked-in syndrome in Chicago feel he's a good candidate for rehabilitation therapy.
He's right there, and I don't understand why they are denying him therapy.
Vicki Harris says that after recovering from locked-in syndrome 25 years ago. She was given 6 hours of rehab a day when she had much less movement than Brett. Gail says her husband worked his whole life and paid for health insurance.
And he did so because if the unforeseen should happen, if the ground should quake underneath him, that he would not fall into that hole. And I feel like they're pushing us deeper.
United Healthcare offered this statement to me tonight, and I'll read it to you. We recognize the devastating nature of this diagnosis for Mr. Walls and his family, and we are working closely with them to provide additional support and make sure his family is prepared to help care for him. And Rob, when families get to this point, Gail talked about maybe they have to deplete assets and go on Medicare. We hear this a lot, and people do fundraisers. His former coworkers at Trio are holding a fundraiser on September 14th. Just a tough situation all the way around.
It is, but his progress has been remarkable. I had lunch at Trio the other day, and I was talking to the staff, and I'm moved by how much they are sticking behind him and trying so hard to do everything they can to help as well.
You know, when he tried the resistance, you know, I pushed on his arm and you could really feel how much strength he had, and it kind of took me aback because that's a lot in a couple of weeks that I've seen.
Seems promising to me. We'll keep on it, won't we, Paula? Thanks very much.
Absolutely.